Well, folks, today we're talking about two things. Revised, yellow, nasty revised, endless amounts of revised. And of course, just to make the thumbs down, because people have not been thumbs downing my videos enough, more cold foil flesh and blood card purchases, because again, it is a bubble. It's all going to go to zero. So please remember, contact Rudy at AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com and sell me your cold foils before the prices drop. You need to lock in your profit today. Okay, anyways. Rudy, some backstory. First introduced to the game from some creepy dude selling variety kits in his mom's basement to pay. Oh, God. I'm sorry. Felt bad for the disabled individual, so I bought two. You bought two kits because you felt bad? Are you serious? Each one of those kits are like $10,000. You made 20 grand because you felt bad. Oh my God. I opened one of the boxes to see what they had in the second Arcane. I decided I wanted more cards, so I bought more boxes of Arcane and 4 Welcome at $80 a box. Boy, alpha boxes, jeez. Proceeded to open them both because I thought it was a great idea to not keep sealed copy. My collection currently stands at 7 sealed boxes, 1 sealed hero brick, some Iris starters, playmats, and promos. Yep, that's the variety kit I sold for pennies on the dollar. This is why I'm selling the cards. Money. In the process of getting my Italian citizenship. Okay, that's kind of cool. For sure, shenanigans? Latin for... Okay. As it would turn out, international bureaucratic processes are expensive, I bet. Hence the need for some money. What better way to pay for my blood than flesh and blood cards? That's kind of cool. Now for confession time. The reason I'd be trying to become a citizen of Italy is I've been illegally selling floppy tacos out of my mother's basement. Oh boy, I'm not going to read the rest. Grant will get you in trouble, dude. Once people find out the tacos are loose, you're done. All right, so we're going to get into the revised conversation here. But before we do, I want to just share these two cards, folks. So this is the first time I have personally owned. This is, just so you guys take a look down there, we have some Arcane. Legendary, the infamous Skullbone Cross Wrap, the epic. One of the best headpieces for the actual Ranger. Stunningly beautiful. I know the lighting doesn't show up too good. No damage, absolutely beautiful card. A lot of people have been asking me if I'm going to be sending some of my cold foils as I've been accumulating these all for grading. I'm unsure right now. I'm just kind of trying to make sure I have a position because I want to make sure I have exposure to this stuff for the future. And of course, beautiful bracers over here, folks. We got epic. Again, this one's a WTR. This is the Alpha. Welcome to Wraith. Legendary rarity. The bracers. Pretty much the best bracers in the game right now for the Warrior. The Warrior. American Ninja Warrior. Okay, anyways. So again, friendly reminder, if you're looking to sell your flesh and blood, you want some cash, please contact me and you will get cash. You'll get put on a video and tell me your story. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, folks, we got to keep talking about Revise. I'm not really sure what you guys want me to say about it. So before we just flip through some cards, because I'm in the process of... Let me explain some background. There's a lot of stuff going on here, folks. This was Revise. I think these were the all artifacts. This was sets of artifacts. Anyways, there's really not much to look at. There's not really a need to go through all these common, uncommons, and rare. They look basic land. And that's Chronicles. It's not even Revise. Okay, I want to kind of... This is more of going to be a listening for the rest of this video. There's no point in showing revised cards. We all know what revised cards look like. I mean, am I right? Is there really a point in showing revised cards? I think everybody knows at this point. Okay. Revised is on a tear. It's Revised is the new Unlimited. Revised is the hottest thing right now. It's moving very quickly, very aggressively. A lot more aggressive than I thought it would go. It is kind of concerning because I'm having a hard time accepting that a lot of I mean, I understand the dual lands. I understand the Wheel of Fortune. I get the whole fast bond, Vesuvian Doppelganger. I get Fork. I get some of these cards that aren't reprinted in 4th edition and Ford. I understand certain specific cards. I get it. I see what's going on here. I'm looking at you, Copy Artifact. I think people just need to be very careful because there is going to be a point where there are going to be people out there that are going to want to take profits on this. And this carries a higher risk than ABU or Four Horsemen sets. The supply on this thing is very high, but at the same time, supply is not extremely printed to oblivion. Whoa. It's just not at that level. You have to understand, this is 1994, folks. That's 27 years ago. Okay? I get the print run was high. But I can also tell you for a fact, there's a lot of Revives sloshing around out there in the world. But I also know most of the Revives sloshing around has been beat to crap. It is just HP, yellow stained, smoke stained, Rudy's basement stained, and most of them are basic lands and commons. Revives rares are actually a little bit more tighter on the supply than I think a lot of people realize, and even myself, I'm kind of surprised by it. I think it goes back to a bigger conversation, everyone. And what we're all experiencing right now is a lot of moving parts between stimulus and inflation and money printing and the crypto boom and just essentially all investable classes between equities to cryptos to collectibles to real estate across the board. All categories are skyrocketing. And that's why I firmly stand by this is inflation without being called inflation. Of course, governments and different things will never acknowledge that because of the way they calculate it, because of course inflation by governments are calculated excluding F&F, which is food and fuel, which always blows my mind because food prices are some of the most, I get they're volatile. Food is like the most volatile thing there is, consumable items like that. But at the same time, you cannot calculate inflation and not acknowledge the price of a taco is going from 99 cents to 109 to 120 to 140 to 160 to 170. I mean, you can't acknowledge inflation and just throw out stuff like that. That skews the database, I'm telling you. So when we look at things like Revise, it's kind of the next thing in line to kind of go on the uptick chart. It kind of is what it is, man. And I think the market's really going through a wake-up call and kind of a checkpoint, a price check thing where I think a lot of people are realizing that the supply of many things in this world are not as dramatically printed to oblivion. Maybe that should be, you know what? I'm starting to lean towards 2021 printed to oblivion. I'm starting to think printed to oblivion is going to be the phrase of 2021 or inflation or some sort of inflate my oblivion. I'm feeling like we're heading in that direction, folks. But, the reason Revise never made big moves in the past is because everybody was so negative about the supply. But seriously, is it justifiable? Is the supply really that bad? Are there really thousands of sealed boxes of Revise? Is there really 250,000 of each rare of Revise printed, still in existence, still survived the natural attrition of 27 years? And then, there's a lot of layers of variables here. And in my personal opinion, I just, I think the market got it wrong. I think what's happening is the market got it wrong for so long. And we're almost seeing a great reset here. We're seeing a repricing of many old things. And I don't think some of it is inflation. I think some of it is the market mispriced cards. Wheel of Fortune, let's pick on it. I know, it's the hot poster child. Wheel of Fortune should never have been, $50 to $100 for a 26-year-old card all the way through 2020. I mean, if I'm wrong, you can tell me in the comments, just thumbs down for it. Most of you already thumbs down left because I showed flesh and blood at the beginning and your head popped off. But I mean, seriously, take a step back. You're telling me Wheel of Fortune should have been under $100 in 2020. Reserve list, 27 years old, massively powerful, playable, unique, amazing art, everything about it. I just think that the same thing with Copy Artifact, the same thing with Dual Lands, the same thing with a lot of these cards. I don't think some of it is inflation. Some of it is incorrect pricing in market perception that is now correcting at a very high rate of speed. And it's pissing a lot of people off. It's catching a lot of people off. It's shocking a lot of people. It's getting that, oh my God, did you see the price of ABC? And you know what? I guarantee you, this big old flashy Black Lotus with all the news things and bouncing around with fake bids and then removed and lowered the bids and up the bid and you're getting attention. Remember, I've talked about this to you folks and everybody around the world. It is not the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s where the most valuable stuff was commodities and different types of things. This is the modern digital age. The most valuable, number one, most expensive thing in the world is attention in digital data. That is the reason why people don't rob banks. They steal everything through the internet digitally and hack websites. The world has evolved. The value of clicks, attention, and digital information and pricing is the most expensive thing in the world right now. Giggity to everybody.